If you were anything like me or just thinking, wow, if you're going to poach, you should probably not do it on Oprah's backyard, then you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors, this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and country that we live in. Nation and country? Holy mac, we just started the program, and I already need some coffee. Hang tight. That should fix it. Holy mackerel. Anyway, hey, thanks for playing along with us, and a happy Independence Day. I don't like saying 4th of July. I've just never been a 4th of July kind of guy. I like to say happy Independence Day because that's what we are celebrating, our nation's independence, or the declaration of our nation's independence. What up, Eddie? And get back to your email. I promise. We'll do that. And thanks for sending me an email. If anybody wants to email me, it's mike@gomikerussell.com. And I just don't like saying 4th of July. There's not going to be a show on the Thursday the 4th, which is Independence Day. There will not be a show. So we're taking the day off. We're going to have just fun by the pool and hang out and enjoy America. And truth be told, not doing a ton of stuff because of our very old, I'm the hospice dad to one very large black lab named Sabbath. So he's fireworks might put him over the edge. So kind of hanging out with him and kind of doing that thing. Hope you guys have some amazing plans to celebrate our nation's independence. Hopefully you got Friday off as well. We will be working on Friday, and by we I mean myself, intern Beans, intern Nuge, and Rob Hunter on In Other News. And obviously there's a lot going on in the world to talk about. Yeah, celebrating this nation in a very, very interesting time. And I mean like in a very interesting, like 100-hour window. Holy mackerels, is going to be a wild one. So tune in. We don't do politics here on this show. So tune in to Russell and Hunter's In Other News today. And Friday, you will be, we'll get you caught up. That's for sure. So at the top, I said it's not a good idea if you're going to go and poach. It's not a good idea to do it in Oprah's backyard. Yeah, 2 men have been busted for illegally hunting on Oprah's Hawaii estate. Now, I understand in Hawaii, and here we go. Again, we're not going to get political, but in Hawaii, the whole Lahaina, that's right next to that big fire was right next to is Oprah House adjacent. There are people that are desperate. There are people that are starving. There are people that need help and aren't getting it. And so when I see this, I think, oof, kind of feeling for the guys. But you think, okay, poaching bad. Don't do it at night and don't do it at Oprah's house. Not a good idea. So that makes it big. I think if it was just somewhere else, somewhere down the road, maybe a lesser known celebritas house, this wouldn't be that big of a deal. Might not have been snatched up, but it was Oprah's house, and there's some serious security going on at Oprah's house. But it does open up the discussion. How do you hunt on somebody's land? One of the greatest things about OnX Hunt is that you, in certain hunting apps, is that you can actually see whose property you're on. You are standing now on public land. You're standing on private land. You're on BLM. You know where you are. You know where you're standing. And that probably would have said something like Harpo, which is her company, right? Might say something like Weight Watchers, no part of her company. Might have said something like Oprah Estate, or just O. And you stay out, you go, oh, I should not be here. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to hunt on this land, especially at night, because that is as no bueno as well. And so these guys got busted for hunting Oprah's land. I think we're past the days of here's how you hunt somebody's farm in the Midwest. You just, with confidence and no firearms attached, you just confidently walk up to the person's door and knock on the door. You ask that nice farmer or the rancher for permission to hunt his land. Those days have sailed in every which way, shape, fashion, or form. Those days have sailed. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you opened your front door? Exactly. So here's what you do. When somebody knocks on, my doorbell rings or somebody knocks on the door, I immediately grab my phone and I want to know who has texted me. I want to know who is trying to reach me but couldn't reach me because my phone maybe a ringer office or something like that. I ain't answering the door. I mean, I understand, like, and if a couple minutes later goes by and it was actually FedEx that hit their doorbell, like sometimes they do, okay, cool. I don't even have Ring because I don't need it because I'm not going to answer the door. So if I'm a farmer, I'm not answering the dang door, especially with all the lunacy that's going on in farmlands right now. I'm just like, I'm not answering the door. My camping Chad in his old house, he actually had what he called an a-hole gate put on his put on the entrance to his kind of foyer to his front door, so no one could just come and try to sell him stuff. He's like, it's locked, man. You can bang on this gate as long as you want. Anyone I want to be at my front door can call me or text me, and I will open the door. And it makes sense. So the days of this is how it used to be for those of you that are new to the biz here. If you wanted to go hunt somebody's land, say somebody's got the farm country, and you just see deer, you see elk, you see all this stuff. I'm going to go knock on this farmer's door. I'm going to ask him if I can hunt it. That's gone bye-bye. It's really gone bye-bye. And they've seen you, by the way, with security cameras and all that. They've already seen you walking up. They've no business in any of that. So how do you do that? You actually go to the things like OnX. You go to the apps like OnX and the hunting apps where you can see what land is owned by who. Then you do your research, find out some contact information, reach out to that person. Maybe it's on social media, maybe it's by phone or text, or email, and you ask. That's the only way to do it now. Sir, I saw you just bought this, or ma'am, I saw you just bought this 3,000 acres here. I used to hunt this as a kid. We used to know the guy, and man, would really love it if I could still do that. I got kids now. Would love to come out here. We're very respectful. We're going to keep things clean. We're going to keep things tidy, and we're not going to mess up your spot. May we hunt? Yeah, absolutely. One of the best stories I heard is, a farmer got door knocked on and said, "Hey, listen, I want a turkey hunt on your property." And he said, "There are no turkeys here." "Sure, dude, go ahead." Said like an hour and a half later, boom. Dude comes back to the door with a giant thunder chicken over his shoulder and is like, "Man, I really appreciate it." He said, "Listen, I'm gonna charge you a fee for hunting my farm." The guy's kind of taken back. He was like, "But you said I could hunt you. We didn't negotiate any kind of price going on here." He said, "I want you to come back next season and teach me how to do what you just did." See? I mean, things can happen, but that's back in the old days of knocking on the door. But that might be a little piece of bait that you use and say, "Hey, listen, I used to hunt this property, or I noticed this property is very deery. This property is very dovey. This property is very ducky, whatever it is. And I would love to hunt it. I love the opportunity to hunt it. If you have someone in your family that would like to join me, or someone in your family that might want to learn how to hunt, I would love to teach them and take them along as well. If you give me the opportunity to hunt your land." See, it's a whole different ball game. So gone are the ways of knocking on doors, and here are the ways of getting digital and finding out ways to do it. Even the cooler. I mean, I think it would be easy. So if you find out who owns this land and you need permission to hunt this land or fish this pond or whatever it is, if you find that person's contact information, we're dealing with 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of stuff here. It wouldn't be too hard to go through their social media and find out somebody that you all know. If you live in the same area, I'm telling you, you can probably draw a very quick line from people you know, your circle, their circle. "Hey, listen, I just saw that you own this property. I'm friends with so-and-so on Facebook, just like you are." And that's just a good little kind of crack the door open kind of thing. And it just makes it easy. What's up, Lynn? Yeah. I have to get ready for man, Eddie's my man, dude. Eddie's got a dream gig, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Eddie blows stuff up. We are all, as males, genetically, when the Y chromosome comes along in our developmental process in the womb, Y means why not light things on fire? That's what the Y stands for. Why not blow things up? And because we all have it as males, we have the gene to just light things on fire. Don't give us a magnifying glass. At 49 years old, you hand me a magnifying glass, I will quickly kind of look at something. "Oh, look, I got a magnifying glass." Second nobody's looking, I'm going to burn something. Period. End of story. Yes. So we'll have the podcast loaded up for you, Eddie, and look for that email as well, pal. I appreciate you sending me an email. The pyromania gene is just alive and well. It just is. And that's why. And anybody say, "Oh, that's terrible. You light things on fire, you blow things up." Are you going to a fireworks celebration? You blowing up some fireworks? Yeah, you are. Or you're watching your neighbors do it because you say, oh, I would never do that because my neighbors have dogs and I'm going to be, okay, whatever. But you're still peeking out the front window like this. And you want to watch your neighbor's fireworks because it's fun. Lighting things on fire is fun. Making things blow up is fun. It's as America as can be. Absolutely as America as can be. So that and the grilling the burgers and dogs. I got bratwurst. So I'm going to be doing boar bratwurst. So just so everybody's clear on that, wild boar, Russian boar bratwurst. I don't know if that takes the Merc out of it, but he was in America when I took him. So, and I hunted that with an AR-15. So there you go. There you have it. Boar bratwurst coming in hot for the 4th of July celebration. Now, again, with the AR, because we're trying to make it as America as we can. With the AR, there is no firearm I have in my arsenal. I love calling it that is more accurate. So when I bead onto anything that I want to take, it's gone, done, expires, down, not tracking, no pain, just dead. So that's why I hunt with my AR, and that's how we took that boar. So we're gonna have some boar bratwurst. So excited. And then maybe some bison burgers. I don't know. I just ate a bison burrito. No, Watusi burrito. It's fantastic. I know. I'm just sticking to what I know, right? I gotta practice what I preach. But there you go. Please don't hunt on Oprah's land. It's not a good idea. Here's a story. I'm gonna go ahead and share, if I could. I'm gonna share my screen, and this is an interesting story that's getting a lot of grief. It is about crappie fishermen that saved 38 dogs from drowning in Mississippi's Grenada Lake. Okay, now if you want your daily dose of vitamin, I'm about to give it to you because this picture is just absolutely fantastic. Share screen. Let's see. Show screen. This is what it does. Here we go. Crappie fishermen. Let's do this thing. Share it up. Here it is. Look at them. Look at all those puppies. Look at all of them. Look at them. Yes, 38 dogs. And this guy's going out crappie fishing. They see all these dogs just flailing around in the middle of the lake. And then see if we can get down for a little cuter picture of them coming in. I don't know. There we go. Here it comes. They're going slow. Look at them all coming in. Look at them all coming in. Looking like I love that. That's my Navy. That's the Navy I want right there. Just a bunch of dogs. Now, so a lot of people, and the reason why this is getting some headlines that people aren't happy. And of course, I'm sharing my screen so I can zoom in. Look at the doggies. Look at them. Look at the doggies. You notice they got numbers painted on them. Why they got numbers painted on them? Why they got numbers painted on them? These dogs have numbers painted on them. So people are like, oh, this is a kill shelter. This is the number of the dog as it goes to slaughter. And this is no. If you look a little closer, this is why, and unfortunately, the article that I just showed you, whoa, it's batting around there. The article that I just showed you does not mention anything about why these dogs are numbered. And just it talks about the story of the crappie fisherman, and that's it. That's all it shows. But if you notice, these guys have, $2,500, $3,000 Garmins on them. This was either a hunt competition or a field trial. That's what this was. So this was actually guys that were dogs, excuse me, that were a part of a field trial. So when you have those types of field trials, and I'll stop sharing my screen here. When you have those field trials, the judges need to see you out in the field. I have a hard time behind my own dogs finding them in the field. Sometimes it's hard. I mean, they blend in pretty well. And then so you if you're a judge and you've got your binos out, you need to see the number of the dog that's doing what it is to judge the dog. That's what this is. That's why it's important. People, these dogs were going to be killed and murdered. If you leave, let's just talk like grown-ups here. I don't know of any animal that's going to be led to slaughter with $3,000 in electronics around its neck. Sorry, not really how that goes down, but it does beg the question. The hell were they all doing in the lake? Like, even if it was a field trial, or if it was a hunt trial, these don't look like duck dogs. These look like field dogs. And so I'm nothing mentioned of any of that in any of the three articles that I saw on it. Not a mention of what they were doing, that they had to have their numbers sprayed and painted on them. And we understand, we know why, but why were they in the lake? Why? Was it just, I mean, look, dogs are smart. I love dogs. I have a dog paw tattoo. I love dogs. Love me some dogs. Sometimes, plug your ears, Sabbath. Plug your ears like this. Put your paws over your ears, big boy. Sometimes not the most intelligent of creature. So I maybe they just jumped in, man. Maybe they jumped in, got caught in maybe a river to the lake. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just all jumped in together. Maybe it was something that they were trying to do. Maybe it was the organizers of the event trying to get like a picture of them all in the water or something like that. And they go. Maybe shorted out the calls. I have no idea why they ended up in the lake, and I'm very curious. So I'm gonna keep doing some research on that. But absolutely something I sent to Intern Beans, because Intern Beans, Intern Beans loves dogs. We watched John Wick. I don't know if y'all have seen John Wick. John Wick, just spoiler, it's at the beginning of John Wick. And one of the reasons why John Wick goes all nutty and goes all John Wick is because bad guys kill his puppy. And I will never forget this. It was me, my sister, and Intern Beans watching John Wick. And when that happened, Intern Beans was, look, because my sister was the one like, oh my gosh, you guys got to see this. I can't believe you haven't seen John Wick. Oh my gosh, you haven't seen John Wick. She said, Auntie, why would you make me watch this? I mean, a dog getting hurt is the worst thing in the world to her. We were watching HBO's, not Game of Thrones, the House of the Dragon. And I told her, I had to warn her, because I saw the episode prior, that a guy in this episode kicks a dog. Dog's fine, but dude kicks a dog. And I had to warn her. And when it happened, she still just tensed up. That's how much she loves dogs. So she is like really, really, really curious as to how in the heck these things ended up in the lake. All, there's 38, 40 of them. How in the world did that happen? But, you got to, I mean, just a picture of them alone coming in like they're taking the beach. I love it. And the article says that the owners were waiting for them at the beach and offered the crappie fishermen some money. And that was it. They the crappie fishermen didn't take it. They're like, we're glad we're in the right place at the right time. Because they had to take a couple back to shore. That big group, excuse me, there was actually 4 more that were still out there, and they were just on their last like paddle, like they were starting to sink, and so they got them. And they said it's good to be in the right place at the right time. So they didn't take any money, and I'm just really, really wondering how in the world. I mean, this article in Outdoor Life, I don't know why in the world they even published the article if they weren't going to get in depth in saying this is what they were doing in the water. There were field trials, hunt trials, whatever it was. So we'll get to the bottom of it. Maybe they've amended it. I'll check it out after the show, because tomorrow, you know what? I got the day off. I could do what I want. Have you ever had a headline, doing any daily reading, any research that you might do, that just makes you makes your blood boil, but at the same time, you have to be glad that you're reading what you're reading? Let me give you my example. Here's the headline. The ATF cut suppressor wait times from 10 months to 1 day. Here's why you can get a suppressor faster. I'm going to tell you how long I waited to get my suppressors. And they're silencers, by the way. The suppressor kind of sounds like a nice way to say it. On the patent, it is a silencer. And just so we're very clear on when it comes to silencers, the same guy that patented the silencer patented the auto muffler. It's the same concept. It is the same concept. So you don't have to. You're not. You basically just quiet things down. And I gotta tell you, if you shoot a lot through maybe it's attached to an AR and AK, and you're shooting a lot in the semi-auto, man, it smells like you're putting your face in some car exhaust. It is, it's bad, but it works. And silencers, by the way, unless you are dealing with maybe 22 rounds or something like that, or maybe subsonic rounds, they don't sound like they do in the movies. It isn't a chirp, 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 chirp. That's my silencer sound from the movies, like the James Bond kind of chirp. No, it's as loud as a balloon popping right by you. That's loud, right? So I'm not getting into politics. We're not talking about banning anything. But how they can pull this off in a day amazes me, because to get my silencers, and I bought 3 because I was not going to go through this process again. And the reason why I try to shoot suppressed is that I had 2 brain surgeries. So big loud booms, that concussion can be absorbed in the front of the firearm. All about it, 100%. So it's basically medical purposes and cool purposes. I'm going to be real. So I had to form a firearm trust. Okay, so right out of the gates, I had to form a firearm trust. I had to get pictured, and like I was getting a passport, I had to get fingerprinted, and I had to send it off and wait with money, with a tax stamp. 200, I believe it's $13 or something like that. It's a little over 200 and change for each of them. So I got 3. So it's 600 and change. Immediately, the ATF, they call it a tax stamp. Immediately, they cash that money. Tax stamp time. Immediately. A year and a half later, I got my silencers. Because here's what you do. You have to buy them. The firearm store holds them in trust. They hold them in their safe. This was at Scottsdale Gun Club. And it's just because I know Tim Forshee. I'm not a member of Scottsdale Gun Club. Come on. No. I mean, I just, by the way, they have a titanium room with an eye detector. You got to put your eye up to the thing. Eye scanner. Ooh, that's cool. That's so cool. Anyway, so they stayed there until I couldn't get them, until the ATF said, okay, he's not a hardened criminal, or he's not on the tourist list. So I could actually go get them. This headline absolutely ticked me off. 10 months, ATF cuts it down from 10 months to 1 day. How do you pull that off? 1 day. I mean, I have to celebrate that, because it's amazing. I want you to get your silencers. I want you to get silencers. Silencers are fantastic. They're amazing. Congress tried to pass a hearing protection act that took silencers off of the, full auto machine gun list. That's why you have to pay a tax stamp. Because back in the 19, when Al Capone and his buddies were running around, the mob was doing their big Gatling guns and stuff. They had silencers. And so the silencers were the government put a tax on them to basically price everyone out of the market. There's no way you could afford $213 or $215, whatever it is. There's no way, because back in those days, that's over $3,000. Adjusted for today's money, $215 back then was over $3,000 to get a suppressor. And that was just the tax that went to the government for that. Government being government, they never changed the tax amount. They didn't adjust it. They didn't annex it to inflation. So it's still $200. I could do that. So if you see a silencer that's $600, it's $800. Just so you're well aware, plus tax. Yeah, the tax stamp doesn't go away with it. Doesn't do away with the federal and state tax. It's still taxed. Yeah, so it's pretty bad. But it took me that long, and now you just get it today. I mean, tomorrow, next day, whatever. Jeez, go get them. By the way, yeah, nothing like it. You can actually hunt with silencers here in Arizona, which is amazing. So I can take the AR-15, my 22 gauge 22. Can I just add coffee? My my 22 AR, and I'm gonna I could put a can on that thing, and I could go rabbit hunting and multiple shots. I'm not gonna need multiple shots, but I could take multiple shots. Yes, silencers are amazing. There is something to look. Keep your eye out for. I forget what month they do it, but the 6 hour days at Ben Avery shooting range, it is absolutely amazing, because you're shooting everything 6 hour makes, and you're shooting it suppressed. They had subsonic 22 rounds in their AR-22, and they had a can on it, and it literally made a click. A click. So you're on metal targets with click, ding, click, ding, click, ding. No bang, nothing. It was absolutely amazing. And so there has been a lot of talk, and I help. All right, well, welcome back, Lynn. Hope everything went well. But if you use a silencer on your firearm, that it's a very, very valuable thing. And let me tell you why. For hunting, I get it, and there's practical purposes for that. But again, unless you're using subsonic rounds, like I was talking about with that 22, it makes the sound of a balloon popping. It's loud. So it's not like you're going to get multiple shots at a deer, multiple shots at, whatever it is. But for me, I shoot because it takes away a lot of that, the concussion of the actual expelling of the round. So, but if you use a firearm for home defense, this is where I want you to think about this. If you're going to carry it in your truck, this is where I want you to think about this. Because if you feel like you have to at any time fire a round off inside, you are going to jack up your hearing. Period. You are going to have some sort of hearing loss. If I discharge any of my firearms in the house, I am going to suffer some sort of hearing loss. So if you feel like that's going to have to happen, telling you, nothing wrong with having nothing wrong with having a suppressor on that bad boy. You got that little 9 out there, a little suppressor on there, pop, you're good. Yeah. And it makes, for me at least, it makes all of that. It makes shooting more comfortable. Here's what I want to do, because it is such a big part of our life. And I always talk about, if you pack it in, pack it out, that kind of thing, leave the area better than you found it. There's a concept in the outdoor world called leave no trace. And like the North American model of wildlife conservation, they have certain principles or tenets that I would like to break down for you, because I think it's something. If you say leave no trace, okay, what does that mean? Because it sounds like a good slogan. It looks really good on a t-shirt. Leave no trace. Well, let's break that down for you. So tomorrow, what I want to do is take the day off because it's Independence Day and everybody's going to take the day off. So have a wonderful Independence Day. Friday, I want to come back with FAFO Friday. And then on Monday, we'll go ahead and break down all of the principles of leave no trace, because it's important. And as we change certain legislation on off-highway vehicles and side-by-sides, this becomes even more important. So I want to chat with you about that on Monday, but FAFO Friday, we're definitely going to do that. Come on. We might celebrate an Independence Day version of FAFO Friday. And no, it has nothing to do with England, but hey, England, enjoy your day at work tomorrow. I know it's bad. I got all the jokes. Hey, thanks for hanging with me. Please have a very safe. And remember, the dogs aren't down with a lot of the fireworks. So do what you can for our doggies, and make sure that they're taken care of, and just mellow through the evening. And please do not be stupid and light fireworks out in the desert. There's fire warnings all over the place. There's can't have campfires, can't have any of that thing. So please do not cause a forest fire. Just, come on, represent your people here on The Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, world that we live in. Have a happy Independence Day. We'll see y'all on Friday at 11 right here on The Go Show. Have a great one.